The world is evolving rapidly, yet we're not embracing inclusion at the same pace.
We're all different, and our differences can generate various points of view and contribute to creativity and innovation.
That's why at DuPont, we believe in embracing diverse talent, valuing each member of our team, and providing inclusive leadership. We can utilize our differences to better achieve our goals and objectives. We've made a lot of progress, yet we strive to go even further.
There are still people working in environments where they feel as though they don't belong. We cannot all contribute ideas if women only hold 20% of seats in the boardrooms of top companies globally. Unconscious bias in the workplace is just that, unconscious. It occurs before we realize and negatively shapes our assessments of people, especially when it comes to decisions such as hiring, promoting and developing talent.
Research shows that diverse, inclusive teams are not only more innovative, they're also more engaged and creative. 35% of diverse teams outperform less diverse teams, while diverse companies are 70% more likely to capture new markets. Due to its subtlety, unconscious bias leads to unintentional exclusion.
Assalamualaikum to Dr. Mutiah. My name is Shazoni Fasihah binti Zana Abidin. In this video presentation, I will talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion in hiring. What Malaysia organization must know. In this video, I will talk about introduction, industry types, industry challenges, effect in industry, effects in HR requirement, problems and cases, solution, and last but not least, conclusion. In today's working world, companies are starting to understand that having a diverse team is not enough. They also need to make sure everyone feels included, respected, and valued. The article that I found said that the HACE Inclusive Requirement Report 2024 found that most employees in Malaysia believe inclusive requirement is important. Meanwhile, a journal by Ayoko and Fujimoto explains that diversity and inclusion should go beyond just hiring people from different backgrounds. Broad sources shows that real inclusion happens when organizations focus on belonging, equal opportunities, and fairness for everyone. Type of industries. Inclusive requirement is important in almost every industry. The HACE report includes people working in finance, banking, construction, technology, marketing, life sciences, and human resources. This industry have started to realize that diversity helps them attract more talent and new ideas. The journal also points out that diversity and inclusion are not just for one type of organization. Every company must include, whether in services, manufacturing, or education, that should include diversity and inclusion as part of their work culture. Even though many companies are trying to be more inclusive, but there are still some challenges. First, barriers for underrepresented group. Some employees, especially from minority groups or caregivers, feel like they have fewer chances to grow in their careers. For example, the HACE report showed that 67% of minority groups members and 40% of caregivers feel limited in career growth. Second, lack of true inclusion. Having diverse employees doesn't always mean people feel included. The journal mentioned that even in diverse teams, some workers still feel left out or ignored. Third, unclear requirement promotion system. Many workers want their companies to be more transparent about hiring and promotion. Without clear system, some people may feel unfairly treated. Lastly, talent shortage. In Malaysia and other countries, there's still a lack of skilled workers. Because of this, some companies rush their hiring process and forget about inclusive practices. Next, how this affects the industry. These challenges can have a big impact on how industry perform. When companies are not inclusive, they risk losing good employees and struggle to attract new ones. On the other hand, when companies practice inclusive recruitment, they gain more creativity, innovation, and fresh ideas. It also helps them build a positive image and attract a wider range of job seekers. In today's competitive job market, being inclusive can actually make a company stand out and perform better. Furthermore, how this affects HR recruitment. For HR departments, these challenges mean that recruitment and employee management must change. HR professionals now need to first write job ads and conduct interviews fairly for all applicants. Second, avoid bias during the hiring process and give equal chances to everyone. Focus not just on hiring diverse people, but also on making them feel welcome and supported. Next, give diversity and inclusion training to managers and staff. Lastly, be open and transparent about promotion and career growth opportunities. In short, there are few problems and cases that have in this issue, which are many employees still face barrier because of race, gender, or caregiver status. Some companies talk about diversity but don't really practice it. Unconscious bias still exists in hiring and promotion. Some employees still don't feel like they belong. For cases, there are lack of proper policies or training. Leaders not taking diversity and inclusion seriously. Companies rushing recruitment due to talent shortage. So, here are few things organizations can do to make recruitment and workplaces more inclusive. First, create strong anti-discrimination policies. Make it clear that unfair treatment or harassment will not be tolerated. Second, be transparent in hiring and promotion. Let employees know how decisions are made so they feel it's fair. Third, provide D&I, which is diversity and inclusion training, to train employees and leaders to understand and respect differences. Fourth, support belongingness, to make sure every employee feels included and part of the team, not just there to fill a quota. Lastly, encourage open communication. HR department have to listen employees' feedback about diversity and inclusion to make improvements. Lastly, to conclude that both of the article and the journal highlight that the diversity and inclusion are not just trends, but they are essential for today's workplaces. Inclusive recruitment is not only about hiring people from different backgrounds, but also about making sure everyone feels welcome, respected, and valued. HR plays an important role in this by creating fair recruitment processes and inclusive work cultures. When companies focus on belonging and fairness, they can build stronger teams, attract more talent, and perform better overall. That's all from me. Thank you for watching.